Welcome to The Michael Blum Show, where we talk about things you don't want to talk about. We talk about sex. We talk about politics. We talk spirituality and substance abuse. Join us by calling 800-699-0980. Think, speak, and be heard. Here now is Michael Blum.
Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Michael Blum Show. I hope everyone had a great week. Lots of stuff going on. As usual, I go ahead and prep out for the whole show, and then something crazy happens, like Friday. And that's why the show today is called Health, H-E-L-L-T-H, Health Care. Pretty clever, I thought. But anyway, hopefully you'll get some people involved, and some people will give us a call tonight. I'm trying out a brand new hardware-based phone system, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to take everyone's call, and everyone will hear me, and everything will merge properly, and we'll just have an awfully good time about it. What the hell happened Friday? What the hell was that about? Absolutely nuts. You know, I can't figure out what's going on with our newly elected officials and with the Keystone Cops, better known as the Republicans. I mean, here you have a group of people that really don't know how to do much of anything. I mean, they really don't. They don't know how to win. They don't know how to get together. They don't know how to come together. Now, the truth of the matter is I did learn a little bit about the health care that they were trying to pass, and it was horrific. It did nothing. It really did nothing at all. And it's unbelievable. And yes, gridlock, I'm getting someone saying gridlock is what's wrong. That's why Trump was put there, to get rid of that. And I don't know what's going on in his mind, because he's not an idiot. There's so many things about this that just don't make sense to me. The Republicans have been saying for the last 8 years, as long as Obamacare, 7 years, as long as Obamacare has been there, they've been saying they want to repeal it. Now, Trump won not by fixing it up, not by claiming that he's going to do good things with Obamacare. It was repeal and replace. I don't think Trump is an idiot, but I think there are certain things we do not know. I think that's really how it is. But I can't figure it out. So I'm willing to go ahead and I'll throw a couple of things out there as to why things are how they are. But if you'd like to give me a call about it and talk about it, you can certainly do that as well. The number here tonight is 800-699-0980. Again, 800-699-0980. Now, for the last, like I said, the last 7 years or so, there's been a plan that basically repealed Obamacare, and it was set up to go to Obama, and he rejected it, which is what everyone in the Senate, the Republicans in the Senate figured would happen, and what they figured would happen actually did happen. So why, then, did they make up a new law? I mean, you have to realize that the one that Ryan just submitted to the House was not the same one that was submitted to Obama in 2015. The one in 2015 already had approval. It had both House, in terms of the Republicans, but it had that. And that should have been what was presented into the House. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if someone says it's all for a show, okay? But I don't know. We're not talking about wiretaps right now. So Democratic libtard, who's Bobby, whatever your name is, we can get to that. You call me up when we get to that. But right now we're talking about something else. Try to, focus. I know it's tough. Anywho, it seems to me that there's something going on, okay? There has to be something going on. Now, Trump knows he said repeal and replace a bazillion times, yet he was trying to force this through. What is he trying to make nice with the Republicans, who basically, you got to remember, there's really no Republicans anymore. How I look at it, in Democrats, there's establishment and there's non-establishment. And the non-establishment right now is just Donald Trump. There's not a hell of a lot more going on than that. Just that's what it is. So I cannot figure Focus on what? That's actually that's the perfect thing to say back. Um, we're focusing right now on healthcare and possible reasons why things went as they did. Now, this may not be a very, very big conversation to have with the Democrats because the Democrats are just thrilled because they've actually won. They won. They did what they wanted to do. They stopped Trump from getting something in an agenda through. I mean, it doesn't make a difference what happens with the people. It doesn't make a difference that Obamacare is going to cease to exist in a year or two. It doesn't make a difference that many states only have like one hospital in them that's on Obamacare. None of that makes a difference because the Democrats really don't really care about what's going to happen with these people at this point in time. And the only point in time I think they actually care is when they're going to get elected. So anyway, again, this something has to be going on that's of greater scope. But the Democrats, if I was a Democrat now, I'd be drinking, I'd be having a great, great, good old time, because they won. They won. They won. And oh, good. That's what I mean by focusing, Bobby. Now that Trump plan, yes, this last thing that went out, I agree, it was horrible. It was horrible. It looks like to me he just wanted to have Paul Ryan do this. It looks like there was no real input, but it was, but it was horrible. It did nothing. You still were paying penalties, except it was the other way around. The insurance company would charge you penalties at some point in time. It didn't do anything. It didn't do one thing to really, I think, help. So why would then? So the questions are, why wouldn't they use the plan from 2015 that the Republicans agreed upon? Instead, they're using this, which I would call it Ryan care, because it's basically that. The other question is, why is the president pushing and getting onto Ryan's side? Did he want to make it seem like if something goes wrong, this is now Ryan care and not Trump care? Is he actually trying to see what he can do at this point? That's the theory that I would have really is that is right now Donald doesn't, look, let's face it, he's not a politician, he's not done this before. I think he's feeling around, and I've seen him do this before. With the first time out of the gate, it does not really work, but the second time out of the gate, once he sees what's going on, he figures out who he's really dealing with and who he really is not dealing with, and then that second time around, I think, would be the telling part. I certainly don't hold anything against Trump at this point in time. I think he's done a hell of a lot for someone who's been there for a whole 2 months. The first president, I think, who's actually being rejected because he's actually doing what he said he would do, which I find kind of weird. But, I find a lot of things kind of weird. So I really can't get that. The Democratic Party, I mean, really, it was odd. When I didn't hear any joy coming from the Republicans either. You'd figure the Democrats over the last 8 years have lost 3,000 seats. If you're talking about in terms of Congress and the Senate and houses in each state and governorships, it's been a really intense decline. So you would figure first of all, that when Trump came in, there would be some gigantic celebration, but I felt no joy. There should have been thrill and joy at the fact that Obamacare now can be repealed. And someone commented already on the Periscope stream that, this is like gridlock, this is like business as usual, and it should not be there. And they still, and when I say they still, I mean the establishment still wants you to think, it was tough to do. We really don't have 60 votes. It's going to be a very big job, and we're not sure. You know what? You can do it. The problem is there's not enough people that want to do it. If enough people want to do it, it gets done. So I really don't get this. This whole thing was kind of crazy. Is this how it's going to be? I mean, are there just so many factions now within the Republican Party that they won't be able to unite? Because I got to tell you, it doesn't even make a difference to me with so many people if you're right or if you're wrong or anything like that. What is more important in order to get things done is to have some type of unification. And there is no unification. There is no unification, at least on the Republican side. Democratic side, I love it. I'd always felt that I wish that there was a conservative president who was of the same ilk as Obama, be quite honest, because Obama didn't give a crap. He wanted to get things done, and they got done. Of course, the media is in love with him, and Trump certainly doesn't have that, and he didn't have to worry about the establishment because He was the establishment. So he didn't have to worry about anybody in his own party giving him grief. Now Trump only has us. Now, that's something else. Why doesn't he hold one of these giant rallies that he's so popular for doing, that tens of thousands of people will come together and push these? Well, he should do that in each of the states where you have people that maybe are going to get reelected, and these are the states that used to be Democratic but now went for Trump. Maybe you can grab those senators, do massive health care rallies there, and kind of force the hands and have the senators realize if they don't get on board with this, then they're going to lose their seats. And maybe you can get a couple of Democrats involved with it. But I don't think, Trump says, well, it's going to fall. And, politically he is correct. I mean, Obamacare, everyone knows, has maybe a year or two to go. And then it's going to collapse. There are a lot of people who feel right now that Obamacare, unless you're being subsidized, which is nice, you can get subsidized and not have to pay anything. That's always wonderful. But if you're not being subsidized, it's almost like you don't have insurance at all, I mean, yeah, catastrophic insurance, if you can afford the $6,000 or $8,000 deductible, and the premium, then I guess you'd have a policy. But that's a long way to go for someone who's struggling, or someone who's in the middle class, or someone who's really working hard at what they do, and money is an issue, and they can't afford it. So basically, to me, those folks, it's like they have no insurance at all. I mean, what kind of health insurance do they have? Something happens, or they got a $6,000 deductible. So something really bad has to happen, then they're covered. It's catastrophic insurance. If it's catastrophic insurance, the premium should not be what they were. I was purchasing insurance for myself and my wife, period. No other family members, nothing like that. Now, we're both older folks, so at the time, when I'm talking to you, at the time, I was under 50 years old, and my wife was maybe a little bit over 60 years old. And the premiums for me and my wife through Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, and it was a decent deductible. It was a family deductible of $3,000. It meant $3,000 combined all around. That was costing me about $2,600 a month. Now, I don't know how many people out there can afford to go ahead and spend $30,000, $35,000 a year. So I said, I'm happy with this Obamacare. Let me go ahead and look into that, see what that will do for me. And what it did for me was absolutely nothing at all, because the premiums on that were as bad as mine, and the deductibles were much bigger, or individual deductibles. I could get something maybe cost an extra $200 a month, bringing me up to about $2,800 a month, and I couldn't get any subsidies on it. And I would have a $6,000 deductible. And it just didn't work. So I wound up doing whatever I did to wind up where I am now, which is to just get onto a different plan through where my wife used to work. And because of her pension, she's pensioned in with this plan, and it's a terrible plan. For her, it doesn't make a difference, But for me, it does. It's a terrible plan. There's very few doctors on it, but that's what I can do. That's what I can afford to do. If I really want to go to the doctor of my choice, I pay for it. I just pay for it out of my pocket. Because I do believe in some continuity of care. As a dental physician, I think that's important. I think that it's very important. So, Republicans, Keystone Cops, Amateur League, ridiculous. I don't know why any of this transpired the way it did. There has to be something else going on in the background that we are not aware of. And hopefully we'll find out. I also find it kind of upsetting that at the end of this you go, all right, well, we're just going to leave it alone and we'll see you later. I mean, you started something. I'd love to see it finished. Now, I know Trump has a bunch of things he wants to get finished. And, he says, you're going to win so much. You're going to win so much. You're going to be tired of winning so much. Eventually you're going to say, hey, can you lose one for us? Well, to me, this was a big one, and it's a loss. I'm sure Trump does not think it that way. I'm not sure what's going on there. But like I said, hopefully it's just a learning experience, because he's going to need to learn quite a bit more than the average bear. But remember, he has no help. No media, no nothing. Nobody helps him out. It's all a matter of the people who elected him. And the people that I speak to and talk to who are kind of Trumpers, they're not really at this point in time that his base is still rather strong. It doesn't seem like it's going anywhere at all. Okay, but that's pretty much Republicans here. I mean, just it seems like the Republicans, in a way, are acting like victims. I talked last week about victims and victimization, and how easy it is to be a victim. I mean, give me a break. You just lay there, you lay it down, and it's someone else's fault. You don't have to go ahead and become anything. You don't have to pick yourself up. You don't have to have any responsibility. You are just a victim. Please help me. Please help me. I'm kind of getting this victim sense out of the Republicans. They feel that they don't know that they won an election. They don't know that they have whatever power it takes to go ahead and do things. They got to switch it up. I don't know if Paul Ryan's the right guy to do it. I don't know. I like Trey Gowdy, but I don't think he would want this job either. But we'll see. I guess we will just have to see. And we all have to just realize that at this point in time, it's only really, like I said, 2 months. 2 months, 7 days. 2 months and 7 days. So it's not a hell of a lot. I want to welcome to Bob and Bill and all the folks there on Facebook. It's a pleasure to see you joining us today. I should go through a little bit of the rigmarole, if you will. We do this show, or I try to do this show every Monday night from about 9 p.m. to 10:30ish. Depending on how it goes, depending on how I feel, depending on the calls and a whole bunch of other things, and depending on really some of the stuff that I think might be important to get out. So we do welcome your calls as well. Feel free to give us a call. The number here again is 800-699-0980. Again, 800-699-0980. I'm doing a new phone thing, and I need to really have this visible. So, there we go. There we go. That works. Okay. Otherwise, I won't see when people call me up at 800-699-0980. And you're helping me actually do my technical stuff too today. It's pretty good. You can get to go ahead and check out this phone system with me. This depends on Bluetooth. That's my only fear. Bluetooth fails. That's it. I have another system I can use, but that's difficult to merge calls. This one should be easier if it works well. So there, now all of the technical stuff that bothers me all night long. But the new Republicans right now, the new Republican Party, if you will, seems to be rather fragmented and old. They need to get their act together. They have an opportunity here to do stuff. Hey, Deb, how you doing? They have an opportunity to do stuff here, and they're just, to me, not taking advantage of it. I mean, but trust me, I have issues with both parties. I have issues with the Democrats too, because there's really, to me, no Democrats. No, what happened to the Democratic Party? I mean, they are right now the party of no, and they stand for making sure Trump doesn't have his agenda passed, because I guess that ruins their perception of the king of the world, Obama's legacy. His legacy, the emperor with no clothing, the legacy that he's left to us would be illegal aliens, breaking down not having a wall at all, not having anything, assuming that immigration means, hey, come on in. All that kind of good stuff that they've done for us, the Democrats. But there seem to be no giants anymore in that party. I mean, there's like Schumer and Pelosi, which is, I'm kind of remembering FDR, LBJ, JFK. Now that's what you got. Schumer, Pelosi, and Obama. A party without any guidelines, without any direction, and without any answers to any issues at all, other than Trump sucks, we can't have him do anything. That's what it right now. So it's become the party of no. They stand for anything that could be against Trump. So I'm wondering when they start to do infrastructure, which is something that the Democrats wanted to do for a long time. I mean, this is tough. Someone calls up and says, hey, hey, Senator, we'd like to put $30 million of infrastructure. You're a Democratic senator. $30,000 of $30 million of infrastructure improvement in your state. But you need to get on board with this. You need to go ahead and cross the aisle and say this is okay to do. I'm wondering if they'll do that. You got to realize the Democratic Party is like nuts. The best way I can put it. There's again no issues that they really can stand for at this point in time. Well, let's say, at the Grand Lux, very good. They have like a macaroni a telefono. That's very good, by the way. That's another listener here. Sorry, I digress, but that's what it is. I'm trying to keep everyone happy tonight instead of doing what I usually do, which is ignore all the stuff that flies up in front of my face on the screens. But basically, we have now that setup, and it almost seems that it could be happening with the Republican side too, where all that really counts is winning. What happens in between doesn't make a difference. What happens to people doesn't make a difference. The only thing that's important is winning. And that could be a Trump thing too. Like, we got to get the win. We just got to get the win. Well, you got to read the goddamn things that you're putting out there. Don't repeat what you're just like the people you said that you couldn't stand and did a bad job. Do you think Trump actually read this? I don't, personally. And I couldn't tell you why I feel that way. I just think somehow this was, yeah, Paul, you're going to get it together? You think you can get it together? You'll do that? Let's see what you can do for me. And I have a feeling that's what it was. I'm going to support you. Oh, Ryan's plan, the best, the greatest, it's got to go, it's got to pass, it's got to pass, it's got to pass. And now it didn't. So either it's going to be Ryan's fault, Ryan will be replaced, although the president is saying at this point in time that he has no intentions of doing that. But who the hell knows what's really going to go on? It seems that anything goes right now as long as you win. So getting back to the original point of infrastructure, will the Democrats go ahead and accept something like that? Because it's something they've been doing for a long time. Now, I got to tell you that Jammu Green, who was running for DNC chair, head of the Democratic Party, was asked by Tucker Carlson, and Tucker said, the Democrats for years and years and years have been trying to get drug prices to be lower. Says Trump has a plan to do that. If he's able to go ahead and get those drug companies to reduce their prices, will you join him? And he could not get a straight answer. So it's almost like, well, no, I'm not sure. I'd have to see the bill. I don't think he could do that. There's a lot of, we can't do that. It can't happen that soon in Washington. And, people are just getting sick and tired of hearing that crap already. We're just sick and tired of hearing people say, oh, we can't do it. You can't. You know what? If you go to like any place, you go to get your car fixed. If the guys in the repair bay are going, I don't know if we could do it. We can't really do it. They should be fired. Get the hell out. If you can't do the job, particularly now, well, you have the president, you have the House, you have the Senate. If you can't do the job now and you can't figure out how to get things together for the people of the United States, then get the hell out of office. You don't belong there. You're ineffective. And if you were in the private sector, you'd have been booted out on your ass probably a long time ago. Just one man's thought. Just one man's thought. So, if you look even further at the Democratic Party right now, who's running it right now? Well, thank God that Jammu Green did not get in, and neither did that other real nut job, who felt that there should be no white people in charge of anything. But that's not racist. Imagine if she said no black people should be in the higher echelons. Oh, my. What a dichotomous bunch of idiots. How, in your head, deranged do you need to be to not realize that you are such an intense hypocrite? It's unbelievable. So who do they have now? Well, they have Tom Perez. He's going to help run the place. He's an Obama lackey. So they have Obama, which basically at least they are doing what they said. They said they didn't want to change anything. They wanted the next 8 years to be the same as the last 8 years. So let's get people in there that are exactly like Obama was. I mean, at least they're consistent and focused, and they have something that they really, really want to do. And who's that? I mean, they had to create a new position. Because, anyone who runs a party has to have someone who's an absolute bigoted anti-Semite there, particularly if you're on the left or a Democrat. You need to do that, so you need to have someone like that. So they have Keith Ellison, who's now is the anti-Semitic co-chair. They've made him a co-chair. And that's unbelievable. And both of these people, in the statements they've made, again, what comes out of their mouths basically is that they will resist this president even before anything comes out if need be. It's the politics of preemption. They just won't do anything. They won't do anything. They're going to even reject offers, I think, that benefit their own party. Because they are afraid more than anything else, and so are the Republicans, and mark my words on it, they are so afraid that if Trump is successful, it will show the world that basically whatever they've done in the past really has been just sucking off the teats of the people of the United States. They sit there having tea and crumpets, and the Republicans just they have a little bit of tea and go ahead and talk to their friends and whatever, and it's the party of no. The Avis party, the second party. Not as good as the other. Okay? Not the first runner. Does it seem when you listen to the news or watch or do anything that the Republicans won anything? Does it seem like the Republicans did anything at all or won anything at all? It almost seems that the Republicans lost and the Democrats won. I mean, this is in terms of emotional mentality, at least as I see it or as I can feel it. So it's kind of really weird. You know, we can talk about both parties back and forth. Right now, I think we're going to learn a lot more about the Republican Party. I mean, the Democratic Party is pretty straightforward. They all goose step. They're in the same lockstep, and that's it. God forbid if someone breaks ranks with them, they will be really in bad shape. So the idea that Trump says, well, we want to work with some of the Democrats. Of course you do. And there are Democrats that probably would like to do this because they realize that just doing nothing is not helping the people that elected them. And that's why they're there. They are not there to help themselves. They're not there to figure out their own problems. They're not there to go ahead and hate each other. They're not there to go ahead and fragment. They're there to go ahead and take care of the people of the United States. And that's exactly what they're not doing. And that's exactly why people are fed up. And that's exactly why Trump got elected. All of it. So we need some people that actually realize that. Just do what you said you were going to do. If it's going to be repeal and replace, repeal the goddamn thing. No one wants to hear how hard that is to do. No one wants to hear about anything else. Figure it out. Can't figure it out? Get the hell out of Washington. You're useless then. If you can't figure out how to do things, then who needs you? Really. I could sit there too and say, oh, we can't do anything. I make a good senator. I can do this now because of the video. This is a senator, the imitation of a senator. Hi, how are you? Give me money. Hi, how are you? Give me money. You know, when Obama was at his lowest, if you wanted to have less popularity, the only place you can go to have even less popularity would have been the Senate. The Senate was hated even more. Unbelievable. Let's see. Mr. Ellison, we can get back to him a little bit. He supported Farrakhan. This is all known stuff, all good stuff. So what is if I'm asking, in all fairness now, if I'm asking what is the Democratic Party about, then I should be able to ask the other thing around the other way. And I should be able to figure out and find out what then is the Republican Party. And I think that's what we're getting. It says Trump is getting hit from all sides. Too many congressmen like Wasserface. Yeah. Well, he is getting hit on all sides. He's going to get hit on all sides because he doesn't have any sides. You know, it's him. It's him and the people that elected him. Those guys that are still going to work, they really don't care about politics too much. They don't care about the arguing between this caucus and that caucus and a caucus. They don't care about any of that. All they want to see is some change. All they want to see is some tax relief. All they want to do is see some health benefits either return or have some better system. That's what they want. They don't care about any of this crap. This is all political nonsense that these people have developed in their own minds. There for too long. Maybe we get rid of the amendment and send all those senators and let them be appointed by the governors and let them go ahead and live in the states and come to Washington every now and then to do stuff. Maybe if they're out of that tea and crumpet where cronyism kind of feel, maybe then they'll go ahead and actually do something. So, folks, anyway, I have been talking about a half an hour now. Queen's Lady Bugstar joined. Thank you so much, Queen's Lady Bugstar. I'm going to take about a couple of minutes actually here. And then I will come back and we will do some more good stuff.
Most people put up